We are celebrating all the original filming locations of the movie Karate Kid, and this is video number 9 of 12. And of course, this was inspired by the new Cobra Kai series, which I highly recommend if you haven't already seen it. So today we're going to look at where Daniel learned to kick in the waves, and then we're going to look at where Mr. Miyagi practiced that crane kick that Daniel happened to see, and then we're going to see the spot where Daniel himself practiced that crane kick. And then lastly, we'll see the spot where Mr. Miyagi had an altercation with two beach bums who tried to give him problems. Now, right here, we're at North Leo Carrillo. So I'm going to give you the whole wide shot of the beach so you get an idea of what we're dealing with. It's a beautiful beach. And like I said, there are two parts. There's north and south. And south is the more beautiful of the two. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the south. But for these 4 scenes, they filmed them right here in the north. So let me pause the video right here. So these 4 scenes will take place literally in this area right here. All 4 scenes in different spots. So the first scene where Daniel learns kicking the waves will be somewhere like right here. And then where Mr. Miyagi practices the crane kick is somewhere like right here, and then where Daniel practiced the crane kick somewhere right here, and then where the altercation comes with the two bums is right up here where they're parking. So now we'll start where Daniel learns to kick in the waves. One thing about how they were able to film these 4 locations so close together is they just used different camera angles and different size lenses. So the waves weren't that big when I went there, but I could zoom into the waves and I can make them look a lot bigger than they actually are. And these waves are only about 1 to 2, maybe 3 feet. And you see how I zoom in there and we just get a close up if you're in the water, and I just get you close to the face of that wave. It'll make it look a lot bigger. So I'm thinking the day that Daniel was learning to kick in these waves, it was actually probably bigger than this, but not much bigger. Now the spot where Mr. Miyagi practices the crane kick. Now if you look here, once again, this spot is going to be right about here. If you notice something, take a look at this right here. If you notice right here, see this little rock right here? And you'll see this right here. Now the thing about this is, if you pay attention, those are the same exact rocks that were still there in that spot. That gives you an idea when you see Mr. Miyagi doing the crane kick. So as we see right here, there's that little rock, and this is the bigger rock. And then the camera was more angled towards the ocean than what the view I gave you was. So I'll show you again so you can see how, see it is? See that? So I got up a little closer, but there's that little rock, and then you see the side of the cliff right there that's in that shot where Mr. Miyagi practices the crane kick. Now, when Daniel practiced the crane kick, what probably happened is set dressing, they come in and they take these pier posts and they just probably moved them. Now this thing is probably double, if not triple, the length that we're seeing here, that they had to bury it in the ground to get the stability so someone can be on it. But they had 3 that they used for Mr. Miyagi, and they probably just took one of those 3, moved it to this part of the beach right over here, just probably about 50 feet away or so. And then, like I said, look at the camera angle that they did so that you could just, you know, do the same thing. And if I stop the video again right here and you look at it, it's like I said, they probably, so Mr. Miyagi, they filmed them probably right here. They probably just moved right over here. And then and so Mr. Miyagi, they had the camera angle, you know, going this way. So it barely caught part of this and up to here. And so for this camera angle, it'll be a little steeper and it'll probably be more that way. So you don't see any of this. So you think it's a different spot than it actually was. I just walked maybe, you know, 20 feet north and turned my camera, and that's pretty much the same angle you got for Daniel practicing his crane kick. There's one surfer out there just surfing with no waves. Okay, so now the last scene they filmed there is, like I said, the altercation with the two beach bums who wouldn't remove their bottles from Mr. Miyagi's car. So, like I said, that took place down here, and they did it in between. As you see, you have this lifeguard tower and you have this lifeguard tower, and these more likely were back there in the day. So that's why I feel that they did it right across in this area right here, so that you just, like I said, once again, turn the camera around, reposition everything, and then shoot that scene. Now I'm on top of that road facing the ocean. This would have been the two bums view, watching Mr. Miyagi and Daniel walk up from the ocean. And then there's the picture again from the movie. And so as they're walking up, well, this is the spot. Here's the one thing is, obviously this movie was filmed 34 years ago, and you've had a lot of erosion from the waves. So as you can see, and it eroded this whole road all the way down. So they don't even let people drive that far. Like right where that truck's parked is as far as they let people drive down now. So that's the whole area where that happened. They filmed all four of those scenes right there at what was called North Leo Carrillo. So I'm going to backtrack now. I'm going to go from north to south because there is also, as you know, another beach scene in the movie. You had a lone fisherman out there. You had like a lone surfer, a lone fisherman. So I'm going backwards. That's why you see the waves going backwards. And so you see that right there, that area. You see birds on those rocks. This is literally the divider between North and South Leo Carrillo. On the South Leo Carrillo is where they filmed the beach scene, where they had this party going on. And then they had Daniel's first encounter with the Cobra Kai. That will be another video because there's a lot to cover in that. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Those were all the original 4 locations shot at Northern Leo Carrillo. I'll put the address in the description if you want to check it out. So go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And leave comments, questions. I'll get back to as many as I can. And like I said, this was number 9 of 12. And so we got some more coming. And I will catch you guys in the next video.
MrYorkieLoverFitness.com